finally we got that worked out. Like I said, it's been a minute, man. It's been a few years. I haven't heard from you in a while. You've been kind of flying under the radar, playing professionally.
Yeah.
You've been over in Japan for quite a while, right? 3 years.
Going into my third.
So,
Yeah.
man, for the people watching this, kind of let them know who you are, where you came from, and just your journey throughout basketball, man. Because a lot of people are wondering, man. Mr. Trey Boyd's under the radar, so we're trying to get him out into the spotlight a little bit, even though he don't like to be. But you know, yeah.
Yeah, I started D2 coming out of high school. D2. I was 17. Like I had just turned 17 when I graduated, so a lot of college coaches didn't want to take that chance. I couldn't jump. Didn't have a good handle, just could shoot it. And head was too bigger than everything. But so I ended up going D2, and my mindset was, okay, I'm gonna go D2. I'm gonna do everything I can. I'm gonna get overseas. And so after that freshman year, I was freshman of the year in the conference, led my team scoring like 15 a game. And I knew I could be better. Yeah. And so like, I think going into that summer, going into my sophomore season, I had a talk with my trainer, Coach Rod, and man, it was like, he said something important to me that stuck. He was like, you don't want to look back and say you didn't like take a chance on yourself. You know what I'm saying? And so that's when I decided to like not decommit, but decided I wanted to put my name in the portal and see what I could get. And when I did that, I got good feedback, but I wasn't talking to the coaches. I had people like talking to them on my behalf. And somehow my D2 coach found out, wasn't happy with me wanting to leave, obviously. Just had a good season. And so he kind of tried to.
You were at Union, right? Union in the
Union.
Gulf South. Yeah.
Small world, because you end up going to it there.
Exactly, and I ended up frying them every year for 3 years. So
I bet he's still running the dip steam. But no, and so a couple schools that wanted me helped me get to Northwest Florida, where I met you and the other guys. And obviously, you know what happened there. Like, we was a good team. We just couldn't get over that hump. Everybody everybody had their own agenda. Let's just say that. And then junior year came, finished my career at East Tennessee State. And so after that, it was COVID. My senior year was COVID. Punched our ticket to go to the dance. I'm playing really good. And COVID hit and kind of screwed everything. And so, like, I think I was playing my best basketball. When COVID hit, it kind of set us back. But for me, it was a blessing. Stars found me to actually learn how to play the position I was supposed to play, point guard. Like, I'm naturally supposed to get point because of my size. And so
I'm gonna say this real quick. You are not a. Hey, you can definitely play point, but man, you at the 2 has always been.
It's deadly.
Has always just felt and looked right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but
like I remember, bro. I'm gonna tell a quick story real quick, man. I'm sorry to cut you off, but Northwest Florida, very first game. Do you remember we were playing? It was Coastal Alabama.
Yo.
And this is my very first college game, so I had no idea what to expect. And we pulled up to this gym. It was late at night. It was a small gym, not a great gym. And, you know, I didn't know what to expect. I'm on the bench kind of watching because Trey's starting, obviously. And I see Trey just go, first game of the season, and Trey's just putting it up. And all of a sudden, I look at the stats, and he's got like 35. How much he had, like 35 or something like that, with like 10 minutes to go in the second half.
I
was like, man, Trey's gonna be the guy.
Yeah, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
It had to have been 35. I just remember like you put on a super efficient game, bro. Yeah. I think you were probably like 10 for 14 or 7 threes and got to the line probably at least like 6-7 times. Like I just remember that, man. I was like, from that point forward, I was like, man, he's the truth, bro. I didn't realize I knew he was nice, but I didn't think he was the truth until I saw it first game of the season. He just came in like that. Anyways, yeah. But I haven't really I mean, I've watched a lot of highlights of you, bro, but you're kind of like I said, you like to stay off the social media. You kind of like to stay low key and just live your life, which I completely respect. But you know, I'm just curious to see kind of all the stuff you've been up to, bro,
Man,
on and off the court.
bro. So I went after college. I ended up playing semi-pro in TBL, where I met a good friend of mine slash coach, DeMarcus Berry, and like he kind of helped. Like they needed, like obviously I can score and stuff, but they needed a guy who can come run the one. And since I was capable of doing it, he just like stayed. He was like really hard on me to like, all right, I know you can score, but how can you control a game? How can you make your teammates better? And so like I'm I'm learning all this while I'm thrown in the fire, like learning how to play. And so I end up playing good for the most part, solid, I would say, for myself. And then I go to Finland. And Finland, I started the second division. I'm the only import on my team. But like because of what I learned that summer before, I'm getting 40-point, damn near triple doubles. You know what I'm saying? We winning. I'm taking this team. We winning a little bit, but and then when we did lose, it was close games to teams that we should never been in the game with. Like, and then I get a call up. I get a call up first game. I go for like 33 off the bench, and then from there,
Call up to what do you mean call up?
if
Like
in Finland they have two leagues. They have the B, basically like a B league and an A league. I started my professional career started in the B league. I averaged like 35, 5, like 7. And when I get the call
you
up,
average 35, 5, and 7.
my teammates need 40. Cause I mean I've always don't shoot the ball, but it was just like I was getting 40s like every other night. And so I ended up getting a call up. And man, from that point that was like when my career like really like people were starting to see, because that first game come off the bench. And I remember what fueled me was the opposing team head coach. He was like, I guess an interview asked him like, what are you going to do to stop Trey? He was like, oh, he comes from the second division. He hasn't played in this league yet. We're not really too much worried. And at the time, I was dealing with a girl who spoke Finnish. And she told me, and once she told me that, I've always been the type like, okay, like you talking, I'm gonna show you why you shouldn't have never said that. You know what I'm saying? And so that was like icing on the cake for me. And then that game led me into like I ended up averaging like 23, like 4 and 4. But that led me into like I already
So
it was crazy.
that interview is what did it. So you heard that, and some guy was speaking in Finnish, talking about you, and that just basically lit a fire and said, "All right,
That sparked
I'm going to do this."
like the game. But I used to walk to the gym in -degree weather to get my shots up and stuff. So it's like my story is kind of crazy just because of like where I've been. Like, but I think what really did it was just me always been in the gym. Like even if no cameras there, even if nobody believed, I just kept believing. So it was like, yeah, I'm gonna show y'all how good I am. And then I think when I really took it to the next level was when I was like, okay, I don't have to play this way all the time. I can play in these spots. And once I learned to master these spots, that's when it was like, okay, now I can be more efficient, if that makes sense. But yeah, after Finland, I went to New Zealand that summer. Ended up winning a chip, my first pro chip in my first like season. And that was like the last place team. I was a replacement guy. They was in last place when I got there. And then we ended up winning the whole thing. And so then
So you were in Finland for 1 year, and then after that season, you went directly to New Zealand
I came
for the summer.
5 days. Couldn't even like
Okay.
be home. And then got the call like, you want to go to New Zealand from my agent. You can replace a guy. Because he was going to the NBA for summer league or something. And I was like, cool, say less. And then the money was cool to me at the time. So it's like, yeah, I'll do it. Get there. I think the first practice, and I kind of regret it just because I was a dickhead. But first practice, I walk in the gym, they playing rugby. This New Zealand culture, they play rugby like that's their sport. It's like they number one sport or whatever. But they playing rugby, goofing around, and I'm like, y'all gotta lose the record. And I'm a winner, bro. So it's like, nah, I'm a dickhead to people. I'm going at the best player. I'm calling stuff out, playing defense, slapping the ground. And it was like, I may have been hated, but we walked out of there where I was respected. You know what I'm saying? And I think that was the main thing. And that's when I was like the first time I actually took over me. And like, the, I wouldn't say they hated me. It was just, it was different. Like, you don't expect a new guy come to your team late to change the dynamic of something. I'm not solely taking it in just for myself, but I think it was definitely like, I kind of lit a spark into everybody because of how I was coming, if that makes sense. And the way I lead is you coming with me or I'm going to drag you with me. I'm not going to leave you behind, if that makes sense. And so I think it wasn't until more so the end where everybody kind of learned, okay, he's this way because he want to win. He's not this way because he a dickhead. He just want to win. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. Oh yeah. And then from there, same thing. Didn't get to be home for no more than a week. Ended up going to France. Had played for a good coach in France. He allowed me to just hoop. Man, I was hooped out there and then shit. Now I'm in Japan. So just I was just like uh I uh in France, I had a really good season in France actually. I mean the team we was young, bro. We just had a young team. And I think if I would have been with them like 2 years later, we would have won the whole thing. Like we would lose like the close games. And so that was like our stuff. But I was still learning at the same time too. And so, but no, France was like the first place I really showcased like I can score, and it's not like against non-athletic people. Because Finland is not really athletic. New Zealand, like they athletic, but it's more space. It's like an NBA game. But it's, yeah, but France is like no, I ain't dog. I was just faster than a lot of them. But they was really. I tell you that they very strong. It's definitely a respected league. Like you ain't just going there. It's not no light work, sure. But yeah.
So what's the differences between the competition and kind of like the guys, like you said, the Finnish guys, the French guys, New
Uh,
Zealand guys, like in terms of how they play and like just kind of how they, yeah, play style and everything.
to me, I would say it's just like you said, it's the play style. It's like they're learning and they're teaching of things. Like Finnish, like the Finnish people, you go there, most of them teams are in drop coverage. So for me, that's my favorite coverage to go against because I feel if I put my man on my hip, he has no way to stop me because I have such challenge. But then you get to France, you're gonna see drop coverage, you're gonna see a lot of trap. So, but they're more athletic, like those Bs are faster, more athletic, like vertical. So I just think it's different, but everything's the same once you learn your game. And so it's just like different speeds you play it. Like France, I played at a more read and react pace. But Finland, I was kind of like, I'm just gonna blow past you. I'm not gonna play with you, da da da. But I couldn't do that in France because I wasn't as fast as some of those guys, if that makes sense. But I was smarter that I like to think. So I think it was just that was kind of like the good thing for me and learning like my balance. Oh, I was in Pro B. I was in Pro B, which is very expensive. Yeah, man. Indeed, though. But yeah, I was in Pro B, man. Uh, Very respectfully. You know, Wimbyama, he was in Pro A. And so I played a lot of the I played a lot of the Pro A teams. I think the first team I played it was like a expedition game between like the two cities, very like rival type game. I had like 30 against them officially, but it's more space though. But, and Pro B is like more ain't like more focusing on like key players and stuff. But Pro A was like, man, you got to guard your own. And so it was just a good balance of me learning and developing my game and aspect. Yeah.
How are you defensively stacking up against those players? Because I know back 7 years ago, and when we play ones, I know you weren't touching me.
I don't think you ever got the ball. You, yeah, I don't think you ever got the
Come on,
ball.
bro. Whenever I got it, it was not leaving my hands. I'll tell you that.
Hey,
Next.
that's hey, you know, I'm gonna give you your flowers. Yes, we know you was the player of the year, lead scorer, or where you from. But you know, you didn't get the ball a lot. But when you got it, I'll give you that. You did your thing, but you didn't get it a lot. So that's all I'm.
Not at all that year, man. That was a year of just learning for me. Complete
Yeah,
just learning from you guys because all y'all are D1 transfers. So I was like, I didn't know what to expect. And I came from Colorado where like good competition, but it's like wasn't anything like I had ever played against.
yeah,
It was just different. It was so much different. And like I'm sure I mean you can speak to this too, and I guess I can too since I played pro for a little bit, but the difference between like high school to college, I feel like isn't even I feel like it I mean, I don't know. It might be more drastic and more hard for some people, but would you say that it's more difficult jumping from high school to college rather than college to the pros? Or probably
uh,
not.
because high school style of play is more so built for pro ball than it is for college ball. Because college ball, you got to understand, like a lot of teams pack the paint in college ball. It's defensive minded. It's more team oriented. High school, you the best player at your school. What your coach gonna do? Give you the ball. Everybody else get out the way. You know what I'm saying? And so I think college is kind of like Euro based. You can't just beat somebody just being the only best player because there's so many schemes to like keep the ball at your hands or like stop you from playing at your strengths. It's all about can you play effectively at your weaknesses. That's what I think college ball is because of the rules. So, and I think by the time you get overseas, you didn't learn how to dominate with your weaknesses, especially when you're going against because you just played like me. I played 4 years of college ball, so I learned how to beat certain coverages. So when I see it overseas now, it's like, okay, I just got to tap back into that mindset when I first learned it. And, watch film and just go from there. Yeah, uh, I think coming from college to pro, I finally got my freedom that I always wanted. Like I've always had the green light everywhere I went because I was shooting regardless.
I was gonna say you've always had the green light.
Yeah.
I was just
I'm,
gonna say, I mean, DeMeo would never get mad at you if you shot anything. So I feel like that freedom's always been kind of there for you because you've earned it, though. Because
yeah. Yeah. Um, yeah, bro. I'm just one of those players. I work out too much to not shoot the ball in the game. So I'm going to shoot it. But yeah. But yeah, I think once you get overseas though and you get your own team and they rely on you heavy, I think that's when it's just more so like those hours start to pay in and then your confidence grows because now the pressure's on you. But if you built for that pressure then you good in my eyes. So and I think I was just able to play through my mistakes as well. You consider one of the best players on your team. You're not coming out the game just for turning the ball over. In college, it's such a tight leash. So you don't really get to learn in most situations, most college coaches, in my opinion. But so I think that was a smooth transition. I think my freshman year coming out of high school, it was simple for me because I was just a shooter. Like I didn't really put the ball on the ground. I didn't really start putting the ball on the ground until I got to Northwest Florida. And even then we had Andreas, we had Kev. So it was like I didn't really have to put it on the ground, even there, unless I just didn't want to pass it or something. And yeah, bro, I think that was the biggest thing. So when I finally got to ETSU and then overseas, I had to really like put the ball on the ground. So my workouts changed where I was like, okay, I gotta get my handles back right. You know what I'm saying? So that was the main thing. Yeah.
So you went from France straight to Japan, right? That was the next move from
Yep.
France to Japan. So what kind of sparked that? Because that's kind of a major shift, right? And
Uh,
and and not
I
just
have,
basketball style, but lifestyle.
oh yeah, for sure. Completely different. But I think what sparked that was my agent. I got a really good agent, bro. And she does wonders. But she's really known in the Asian market. And so we kind of ran into a GM who had a vision, right? He had a vision of he wanted to play fast, he wanted to run and gun. And I just so happened to be a centerpiece of that. And then when I get there, he ended up getting fired. So they brought a new head coach in. So everything kind of changed from there. But we still won. We still went 46-4 my first year. We won and chill. I was finals MVP. So it was like everything still worked out for me by the grace of God. But man, I still kind of think if he was there, because he was like the GM slash head coach. So it would have been like, I wonder how things would have been, how much different it would have been, if that makes sense.
Interesting, yeah.
Well,
Dang, man. All right, so what I was saying was talking about Japan, right? Obviously it sounds like you found a good home there because you've been there for 3 years now, so it sounds like you're liking everything about it there. Lifestyle, hoop. I'm sure you've probably met some cool people,
yeah,
learned some Japanese.
a
I
little
mean,
bit.
talk about that, bro.
Uh, it was definitely a culture change, bro. Like getting out there, like the peace it brings you, just being out there, like seeing how clean it is, seeing how quiet people are, how respectful they are. Like Japan is definitely like one of the, I think, I've been to a lot of places. It's like one of the best places I've been. And like little kids be like 3 years old, taking a train through the entire city, walking home afterwards. And you see that and it's just like, bro, this is what the world could be like, if that makes sense. Like you never hear
So
about the
safe.
crime. Yeah, extremely safe. But it's also like, man, it's so much to do there. It's like everything is there. And then they love
So
their back.
what do you do out there, man?
Me,
Like when you're not hooping, what are you doing?
honestly, bro, now I just be chilling. I think like because I'm a vet. I consider myself a vet now. I'm going into year 5. So it's like I do things that I want to do now. I've seen pretty much a lot of stuff. And I still go sightseeing and stuff like that. But man, I be trying to learn like little things that can help me in the long run, like learning and reading little books in here and there. But for the most part, I take a lot of naps, bro. Sleep, eat something, watch a lot of shows, chill stuff, nothing too crazy. And so yeah, I just bro,
Man, it's crazy, bro. Like you said year 5 already?
going into year
Sheesh.
5, man.
So going into year 5, so what is next? Like I mean, obviously future can change any time. Your plans can change any time, but like right now, where are you kind of leaning towards and kind of like the future where you want to play, where you want to be
Uh,
at?
yeah, for sure.
Personal goals, like
For sure. I think my future plans, like obviously the right situation, like right now, I just re-signed back to the team I just won with. I just had a terrific season. I was leading scorer of the league. I was the MVP of the league. I was a finals MVP. I was playoff MVP, I'm sorry. And we won like the championship. So, coming off there and then going back to that team, and I just signed basically 2 year or whatever. And so definitely trying to find that place I can consider my home away from home. But as far as market wise, Japan is cool, don't get me wrong, but I do one day want to play in China. I think China, like my style of play and how electrifying it is to watch, I think China will really benefit just from having me in their market for sure. Like that's the type of style I play because it's a lot more space than it is playing there than it is in Japan, if that makes sense.
Is it
So,
really? I was just gonna ask how that type of play style is in China.
oh man, I mean Japan, bro, is just I think that the leagues I play, I've only played in B3, but I've played like other teams. And so I guess the higher we go, it's like a little bit more space, but they're so small, but they're so fast and so strong. So it's like that strip and rip is crazy. It's just like the force. It looks like you got space, but you don't. So you really got to be a shot maker. And I think that's why I've like thrived in being. But like
It sounds
definitely,
like a whole bunch of guys like Yuki. You know Yuki. It sounds like
yeah,
a whole bunch of guys that are kind of like
yeah,
up there,
yeah. I
just
got a point
smart,
guard.
fast, quick.
Yeah, shit. I got a point guard on my team. He went to HBCU in the States. Speaks great English and everything. But he's like 5, maybe 6, fast as ever, like strong, like took karate his whole life. So he really like got natural strength, you know what I'm saying? But nah,
Isn't it crazy how like 15, 14, 15-year-old kids in these other countries play pro like before they go play in college? It's like, you know what I mean? Like they're playing in these pro leagues before they play in the States, go to the States and play
you know why
like
that is?
D1, D2. It's
You know
crazy
why?
though. It's like that's why they're catching up with this. Like, you know what I mean? The rest of the world is catching up with this basketball wise because they got kids
Yeah, for
playing
sure.
pro against grown men as 14, 15-year-olds. Like that's how it is with me. I'm going to say something real quick. Like my team, we had 14, 15-year-old kids on our team and like they were dunking, you know? And
Yeah.
like they were strong, tall, and they're definitely like I mean, maybe not as physically mature, but like their games were beyond their years. So
Yeah, I think it's more so of they value the team aspect of it and they learn that and they continue to learn it. Like overseas, they practice 6 days a week. You know what I'm saying? And play once, maybe. So they taking more time to develop like team skills and the mindset of basketball. So the ones that come over here and dominate are the ones that actually can play our style, which is one on one, scoring at a high level. And, but because they like Luca, he's so gifted because he understands the game itself. But then he incorporated the one on one, the shot making ability. So now he come over here and dominate because he's used to dominating where it's no space. Now you give him all this space in the league and you leaving a guy on the island with him and he's 6'9", it's nothing you can do with him. You know what I'm saying? He had learned his pace already. But you know what it is though? They don't have college over there. They just have club teams. Like they don't have like their basketball teams connected to college. So, but yeah, I think it's definitely they definitely catching up for sure. But I don't think we have to lose our number one spot.
you don't think this past Olympics it was a little scary, man.
Yeah,
It kind of got close a couple times actually,
yeah, but
but you know,
I don't think so. But if it
it's
does,
just crazy seeing the differences though from country to country.
yeah,
Like just you got to agree though, they are kind of, like these other countries are definitely catching up to us. You know, it was always kind of we're way ahead, but now the gap is definitely closed.
I don't even think we was way ahead. I just think it was more so um back then when MJ was playing, they played together and they played hard. And I think our superstars now is hard because most of them got the same exact game. So it's more so who's gonna take the lighter load, who's gonna put their ego and pride to the side and be like, okay, I'm gonna come off the bench because that's what's best for the team. You know what I'm saying? And I think that was the big, especially in like the Olympics that we did lose with all the vets and Hall of Famers on the team. I think that was the big difference, especially from then to last year. Like D Book, we know how good Devin Booker is, but the role he took on last was to be like a defender. You know what I'm saying? First, D Book's not a defender in the league, but it's just the selflessness to like really lock in and just, bro, I want to do this because I want to win. And I think they want to win more than we do because they value the camaraderie of team basketball. And we grew up playing ISO basketball. So it's hard to just turn that switch on when it's hard. Hey, you remember those AAU days, team full of white 8 a.m. that's not even pressing, they just swinging the ball. And you can't stop them because you can't pressure nobody that's passing the ball. You know what I'm saying? And then they just hit all these shots, getting all these layups, back cuts. And you look at the score, you down 50. You know what I'm saying? Because they playing the right way. And I think that's the main thing.
That's how Europe is though too. Like, you
Yep.
notice how much the ball moves in Europe, man? It's crazy. Like you just said, we grew up in America playing ISO ball overseas. I mean, that ball was getting swung, cuts. Like, I remember coach
Yeah.
getting on me if I wasn't pass shooting, or no, sorry, if I wasn't shooting and after I passed to somebody on the wing, and if I didn't cut, like I was getting pulled immediately because it's like, because
Yeah.
I was not used to just cutting as soon as I, you know what I mean? I swung it.
Yeah.
Like, it was in America, it's like in a lot of offenses, you swing it and then you stand there, you wait and see if this guy's going to penetrate. You sit on the perimeter, penetrate and kick. But
Yeah.
like, it's just constant movement they want, which is, I mean, obviously successful, but it's a lot different than what you grow up to being American.
Yeah, but they have to because they're not as talented one-on-one. And so they develop these skills, and it's easier to teach kids that's 8 or 9 that these skills is what's going to win a game. And so by the time they get 14, 15, they know how to do that. And that's why they start,
Yeah.
okay, I want to dunk now
Yeah. They
because I'm,
stress on the fundamentals so
yeah,
much from an early age.
so heavy. And especially in the preseason. Oh, my God. Man,
Oh, yeah.
preseason fundamentals every
Preseason is
day.
rough. You doing regular jump stops and pivots, right foot pivot, reverse pivots, and you 26 years old, fourth year in pro, and you're like, man,
Yeah, nah.
I was doing this when I was a little youngin'.
Yeah. But all that stuff matters, bro. It does. It's supposed to keep it sharp. It's boring for
What?
sure, but definitely got
Yeah. One thing I had to ask you too is, I know that there are players that are playing pro that watch this podcast. How do you, like, how have you been able to mentally just stay focused and been able to kind of just grind through, I guess, the difficulties of being far away from home, from the States, kind of being on a isolated time zone, just mentally staying tough and mentally kind of pushing through those type of barriers, man. How have you been able to get through those?
I think it's more so my support system, bro, and how I grew up individually. Like I'm the middle child of 7 kids, so I've always been, what would you say, like the middle child. Like I could be on my own. Like if I go missing for a couple of days, no one's going to be tripping or concerned because they understand I can take care of myself. You know what I'm saying? So I think the main thing is I love basketball, and this is what I want to do. And so when I keep that my focus, I don't allow the distractions of other things to come into play, if that makes sense. Like my family know I'm gone because I'm doing what I love to do. So like, yeah, I miss birthdays, holidays, family gatherings, but they know this is where I want to be. Even though I'm missing these quality moments with them, they understand like this is where I work my tail off to be. So, and like, yeah, you're going to have lonely days overseas, obviously, like being far away, missing your friends getting married, your friends, you know, going out of town, going on guys trips and stuff like that. But yeah, I just think the main thing is you got to remember why you there. And if you keep that your main thing there, like that loneliness ain't gonna come creeping all the time. That makes sense. But
Right.
also
Was that
branch out.
first season? Was that first? Oh, my bad. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh no, yeah, you good. You go ahead.
No, I was just gonna ask, was that first season for you, first time being overseas, was that probably the most mentally challenging for you? And obviously now since you're a vet, it's probably became a lot easier to deal with that stuff.
Honestly, bro, mine was backwards. I think my first season has been my best season. Yeah, bro. And I didn't make no money my first season. Like I made under 1,200 a month my first season pro. But I think that at that time it was like the most in my career so far, being at Finland was the happiest I've ever been when it came to playing basketball, bro. Because it was strictly just basketball. And like my mindset was, I'm not gonna trip over the money now because I know the money gonna come. I'm just gonna control what I can control, and I'm gonna enjoy hooping. And I think the coaches I was blessed to have in Finland, and like the teammates that I was surrounded by, man, they just made my life easy, bro. Like, and Finland, I used to live in, I used to live in like a studio apartment, bro. My sink was smaller than the width of my hand. Like my kitchen, serious, bro. I get
Oh
in on
no.
sink. My pinky and my thumb was like wider than my actual sink, bro. But hey, man, you'd have thought I was a billionaire in there. I was so focused, bro. I don't think I really hit the mental barrier of being away from home until I got the friends. Once I got the friends, like, man, speaking French is hard. I couldn't pick it up. Like,
What do you think that was? Like what was that switch? Cuz it's not like France is that much further away from Memphis than,
no,
Finland is.
no, it's not. I think it was more so like I was surrounded by good people, but in France in general, if you don't speak French, they don't talk to you. You know what I'm saying? So like besides my teammates, branching out was hard. Like I had a car. I lived on the 17th floor of a nice building. I had a great view, but it was just empty, bro. It was like it's hard to branch out and build connections there if you don't speak a lick of their language. Because they look at us as like we don't want to be like y'all. You know what I'm saying? So don't want to speak English, don't care to learn it. And so it was just hard on me, bro. But still, even then, I had some good teammates, so I was definitely fortunate.
Did you end up having to kind of conform and learn French? Is that how you kind of dealt with it? Or did you just kind of just say,
Uh,
"Well, I got to just
I was
play be
well
myself, but I just got to play this year out, see what happens."
in Europe. You practice 6 days a week, so it was like, hey, I ain't had that much time. No way. Most 6 days a week, the days 2 a day. So it was like I ain't had no time to really do too much. So that helped me stay focused. But when I did have time, it was damn. I'm gonna learn. I'm gonna learn some of this stuff. But French is definitely hard to pick up.
That's interesting,
But
man.
nah, every,
I've never talked to anybody that said that their first year was the easiest, and now since it's gonna be your fifth year,
yeah.
that's interesting, bro. I mean, like you said, you like Japan, so is there anything that you don't like about it, or
Yeah, it's a lot of things I don't like about Japan. I can't say those things because the people that's gonna be watching this video may be some of the people that's writing my checks. You know what I'm saying? But I think I'm just living in the mindset of, man, I got to control what I can control, and if I do that, then everything else just play for itself, bro. Like, because it's realizing like you can't be in control of everything, so just accept it and let God lead the way, bro.
do you ever? I mean, do you ever feel like you do you ever feel like you want to, or you want you? Do you ever feel like, how am I supposed to say this, that you would I guess regret the moves you've made like professionally, or do you feel like every move you've made has been calculated and that you don't regret? That's definitely been something that you feel like has only
Mm,
helped you. I mean, like, is there any steps that you would have taken differently? Any different directions you would have gone if you would have came if you could come go back and redo it?
Uh, yeah, I think overall, no. I think everything that has painted in my picture so far, I need it, like just for the sake of like my growth and my understanding.
If you guys like that episode with Trey Boyd, one of the realest players, one of the most deeply intelligent basketball minds I've had the privilege to speak to, like this video, comment what you want to see next, comment on how you feel, opinions, all of that good stuff regarding this video. And as always, I got good content coming very soon, lots of podcast episodes, some good ideas up my sleeve. So subscribe if you haven't already, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace.